Welcome, everybody, and welcome to Honest Craft Beer Reviews. I am your host for Mega Life 21 Mayhem, James P. Madonna of Mega Life 21, the hardest hitting internet talk radio station on the planet, and I am here with one of the heavy hitters from Honest Craft Beer Reviews, which is a new and exciting and very fast growing Facebook group all about craft beers, microbrewed, high-quality craft beer, not the garbage that the college kids get bombed on, and end up puking. Your cheap Coors Light and Budweiser. We're talking about real beer, real old-world style, European and American-made craft beer of high quality, because we demand nothing but the best at Honest Craft Beer Reviews. And I am here with the one and only, the Beer Whisperer from the state of Missouri. How are you, sir?
I am good, James.
All right. Now, the founder and president of Honest Craft Beer Reviews, Mr. John Starodomski. For those of you that have seen this show in the past, I have done some shows with Mr. Starodomski and also Red Rooster, our official beer consultant. They're both from the state of Rhode Island, the Ocean State. But now we have somebody from the Midwest, the Beer Whisperer. And if you haven't seen his reviews, his videos, I urge you to see them, because they are the most enthusiastic beer reviews I have ever seen. There's nobody more enthusiastic about high quality craft beer like the Beer Whisperer.
Now, thanks, James. I appreciate it, man.
That's quite all right. I mean, we all enjoy it. My radio partner watches your reviews, and he says to me, there's nobody that enjoys beer with such enthusiasm as the Beer Whisperer.
And all you, my wife's chagrin.
And all you other jabronis out there that have a problem with the Beer Whisperer, well, you know what? We'll take care of you. You'll just have to, your skull may have to meet my imported Irish Blackthorn Shillelagh that I'm waiting on. Now,
well, who would have a problem with you? I'm a likable guy.
Nah, in the future, I just want to let the jabronis out. I say jabroni because I used to work for professional wrestling for over 10 years, and that's like kind of like a popular wrestling word. Jabroni.
I want to ask you a question here, James.
Certainly.
I have got 2 beers I brought along, and if you've been watching my stuff, I've been in a big Imperial IPA kick. So I got the Sneaky Pete Imperial or the Optimum from Sierra Nevada. Which one do you think I ought to pop for your audience?
Optimum, because I like that. I like the picture of the drawing of the guy's head.
Okay, we're going to do that. The Optimum is 10% or 10.4%, 100 IBUs.
All right, Optimum. I love the names of all these microbrews. I mean, and the beautiful artwork that you see on the labels. Optimum. There's one called Hoptopus, I think, with it.
Now, that one I haven't seen. There's one from New Albania called Optimus.
Wow.
That's a great beer.
Wow.
And it's Optimum. That's very nice color.
Oh, yeah, nice color. Nice, it's got that medium brown with the craggly head that stays there. That's good quality beer, right? Has that craggly head?
Yep.
All right. Beautiful.
I'm going to drink this, and you ask me whatever you want to ask me.
Okay. Now, are you are you in a suburb of any of the major cities in Missouri? Are you near Kansas City?
Well, Springfield is the 3rd largest city in Missouri, under Kansas City, St. Louis, and then Springfield. And we're southwest. I'm actually about 3 hours from Kansas City, and about 3 hours from St. Louis, going in opposite directions.
Oh, okay. Because the reason why
I picture Missouri, I'm in the southwest corner.
I'm picturing it right now. The southwest corner is, I guess, closer to St. Louis, right?
Like I said, I can get to Kansas City in about 3 hours going north, or going east, I can get to St. Louis in about 3.5. So it's just about the same either direction.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the reason why I mentioned Kansas City is because I saw, I watched the Travel Channel when Anthony Bourdain, No Reservations, went to the Kansas City barbecue landmarks. And the Kansas City had some of my favorite food, God's food as far as I'm concerned, which is low and slow smoked barbecue.
Yeah, great barbecue out there. They've got a great chain out there called Gates, and it's just incredible.
Yeah. You like the pulled pork and the brisket? What do you like?
I do. Actually, I like it all. When I go out there, they're really known for their brisket. They have a good pulled pork, but they're known for their brisket and their ham there in Kansas City.
Wow. And the ribs are great too, right? Baby back ribs or the big Fred Flintstone giant brontosaurus ribs.
Yeah, rib bones are awesome out there, man.
And the beef ribs. A lot of people think of pork ribs, but the beef ribs are great too. With their
We have a place right here in Springfield that was here way back when, and the guy that owns it, his dad started the place from, and he was from Kansas City, but they're known for their beef ribs. That's why I bring it up. It's called Crosstown Barbecue. So if any of your friends ever happen to be passing through Springfield, look me up. I'll show them where to find the beer. But if they want barbecue, I'll head them right to the right place.
Well, I can't think of a better way to do a show if I happen to be out there where you're a long ways out. But if I'm ever out there, I would love to get the owner of the restaurant's permission to bring my camera and tripod and do a show as we have dry rub and sauce all over our mouths. And
oh man, I think he would like that. He's kind of ham. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I'll interview him too. You know, what the hell? I'm in New Jersey. I'm about 20 minutes west of New York City. And,
gotcha. I've never been there, but I'd like to get out there, Lynn.
Well, I'm not far from the city. Actually, a lot of people that visit New York stay in like a Holiday Inn in New Jersey to save money on hotel costs, because Manhattan will rip you off like you've never been ripped off before, and they save a lot of. Actually, the Holiday Inn van, the shuttle, takes them to the bus stop, and they just take the bus right into, you know, the 42nd Street, Times Square, that whole touristy area, and they end up saving money that way. But I don't want to get. Yeah, I mentioned barbecue because I can't think of a better food aside from hot and spicy New Orleans seafood. To have with beer. Of course, the German smoked sausages, the bratwurst.
I agree. Yeah, especially if you're talking about what I'm drinking tonight, a big Imperial IPA, a big barbecue will hold up, ribs, a pulled pork, even a smoked ham will hold up, anything big and smoky. You mentioned New Orleans food. I mean, I love red beans and rice and jambalaya. This is the perfect beer to have with that as well.
Oh, yeah.
You want that big, hearty, smoky food. Even, like you said, the German food, I mean, the sausages, that works great.
Oh, yeah, the bratwurst and the Polish kielbasas. And like with New Orleans, I've had crawfish etouffee. And then the jambalaya has the andouille, spicy andouille sausages.
Yeah, I love andouille, man.
And what else? Well, gumbo has okra. A lot of people out there make faces at me when I mention okra, but I'll eat all kinds of veggies. I don't mind the sliminess of okra, and I don't mind, you know, Brussels sprouts and collard greens. I'll eat it all.
Well, I'll tell you a trick I've learned with okra. My wife grows a bean garden during the spring, and we've grown a lot of okra in the past. And here's a trick to non-slimy okra, is you blanch it for about 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If you put it in your gumbo, don't just cut it up, put it in the gumbo. Blanch it for 3 minutes, and then put it in your gumbo. And you don't get that sliminess. That will work, trust me.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Actually, a lot of things improve with blanching. I hear peeling tomatoes for homemade spaghetti sauce. You can blanch the tomatoes. But you know what? This show can actually be on the other show owned by Red Rooster, which is Regional Food and Drink. You know?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I could post this over there too, because we're jumping around now. Now, getting back to the hops.
Okay, I'm with you, man.
The Hoptimum. Which one is that again? Hoptimum?
I'm drinking the Sierra Nevada Optimum. It's a whole cone Imperial IPA. Again, it's 10.4%, 100 IBUs.
Okay, an IPA for the lay people out there would be India Pale Ale.
Yes.
Okay, and the story behind India Pale Ale is quite interesting. John told me about it. It has something to do with old English sailors and the kegs. I mean, the barrels just fermented for an extra long time.
That's right. Well, hops are a natural preservative. So if you drop a boatload of hops in there, you're going to, no pun intended, it will allow your beer to last longer, and that was the original intention. But let me tell you, I'm sure John already mentioned this, but the reason why those European IPAs are different than what Americans are drinking is most Americans are fixated on what they call fresh, which is as soon as this thing comes out to drink them, not let them age. Those IPAs aged, and did that for a reason. The hops were put in there as a preservative, but they sat for such a long period of time that the malt will eventually morph and just take over the beer. So you didn't have a typical pale ale, but you didn't have the IPA that we have today. So basically what I'm trying to say is it wasn't quite as hoppy as what American craft IPAs are right now.
Okay, and I love the India Pale Ale, and I drink. I like super dark. I like porters and stouts, like Guinness Stout, and I found something even stronger than Guinness Stout that I was drinking it when I first did a show with John Starodomski. It's a Polish porter, Zywek or Zywek, Z-Y. Well, it starts with a Z. I think it's people pronounce it different ways, but it was super powerful and heavy and full bodied, and it had more bitterness, which is probably the hops, right? The bitterness of a porter.
I tell you what, if you have this beer here,
but it knocked me on my ass, Beer Whisperer. This porter from Poland, it was stronger than Guinness Stout. I was very impressed with it.
It's a Zytec or what? Something.
C-Y-C-E-A. Yes, it's a.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I do have this one here that I could have popped, and I still may have brought this thing home enough. Is the Black Pearl.
Oh, wow.
From RJ Rockers, and it's a 9.5% black IPA. Now it gives you a big roasty nose along with huge hops.
Oh, wow. Wow, that looks pretty good.
So if you want to know what that tastes like, I'll pop that after if we're on this.
Well,
depends on how long you talk to me. Sometimes I irritate people.
Oh, I irritate people too. I've been known to be controversial. I do a lot of political and current news topic and sometimes religious end time prophecy stuff with my partner because he's a minister. We get heavy duty. And we rub a lot.
I said I couldn't work in a massage parlor because I rub people the wrong way.
Well, you know, when you think about it, massage parlors, their overhead must be very low. All you have to do is wash towels, and the whole business is done through your cell phone. I mean, you know, it's like, and then you just got to worry about washing the towels.
In your hands.
Yeah, and then the girls can supply the oil. You know, the owner don't have to buy that. And, yeah, in your hand. Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm a bit of a germaphobe, so, you know, I beer whisperer clean.
Me too. I love clean. I mean, I'm a neat freak. I am such a neat freak that if somebody put eating utensils down on a dining room table without resting on a napkin, I would have to go get another set of knife and fork and spoon. That's how clean I am.
My friend, I'm with you.
I'm like Felix Unger from The Odd Couple.
All right.
But anyway, well, it's next to godliness, so why not be super clean?
I hear you.
Yeah. Now, I heard about the history of beer. Mr. Starodomski pretty much told me I think it might have been ancient Babylon,
Mhm.
where a loaf of whole grain bread just happened to be sitting in a barrel of water, and it fermented, and on its own, by accident, beer was discovered. And
Actually, I didn't know that.
yeah, it was by accident. Well, hey, tea was discovered by accident too. Some leaves fell into hot water, and they liked the way it tasted, and the rest is history. Now, coming up, speeding up into the future from that point in time, I guess, you could make fermented beverages out of practically everything today. And it's no stranger to microbrews, because I've seen every year more and more exotic flavors and additives, natural additives, spices. It just goes on and on and on, and it's very exciting. And it's like, that's why I'm saying these college kids that drink and puke, Budweiser and Coors Light, and they don't know anything else. It's like they're missing a lot.
Yeah, and I think sometimes I just turned 47 on Thursday, James.
Oh, happy birthday, sir.
Thank you. But I think some of that comes with age. I think when you're young, you think drinking is all about quantity. It's all about getting drunk. As you get older, well, for most people, some people might still think about getting drunk, but for me, it's about the taste and the pleasure of getting it. The getting the buzz. Well, that's the bonus. That's the cherry on top of the sundae, because you want to feel good. But the real pleasure is drinking something that tastes good. For me, when I buy something with the anticipation of getting it cold, or to the temperature I want to drink it at, and then popping it, just thinking about it all day, think, oh man, that's going to be so good. And then drinking it and feeling that rush. That's what drinking should be about. If you're drinking just to be buzzed, well, then you shouldn't be drinking. That's not what it's about. It's about that pleasure. If we're talking about beer, if you're talking about liquor, it's all about enjoyment. If you're not drinking, it's good beer for enjoyment. You shouldn't be drinking anything.
Exactly.
That's my soapbox, sir.
Well, people that really do not know high quality beer really are missing a lot, because the micro craft beers of today are, it's like taking a loaf of heavy duty organic whole grain bread and turning it and liquefying it, because
yes, absolutely,
it has nutritional value. It has B vitamins and minerals, and like brewer's yeast has, and it has great complexities to it, and the flavors are very intriguing with the combinations and the exotic additives with the spices and the fruits and different grains, and they're always experimenting with different combinations, and it goes on and on and on. And it's really an adventure now. It's not just, it's a lot more than getting a buzz. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. And there's professional beer tasters that travel the world now and give well, some people on Honest Craft Beer Reviews do that. I think Mr. Puckett, I think his last name is, or I don't know if I'm mispronouncing his name, but
I think it's Greg. You're talking about Greg?
Yeah. He travels. He goes to Europe, and he travels and tastes all kinds of high quality beers, new beers, and even in the United States alone, the micro brews. There's just new breweries popping up all over.
Yeah. You know what? I had to be in St. Louis this week. I did some, on breweries, but my son has leukemia.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
So we had to be in St. Louis all week for his treatment, but we also tried to make the best of it, taking him to do some fun things. But anyway, on the other side of that is because I was there, St. Louis has just a ton of very small microbreweries. I mean, some of these are just microbreweries. And you know, some of the best ones, I'm going to mention one just in case you guys ever get in there, called Four Hands. And these guys are so small yet that they're not even knocking bottles out. They're just doing case to all the local restaurants. But they have the potential to be one of the best ever. Everything I've had from these guys has just been way off the charts. They do a hockey red they call Reprice and Tango Red. It's just amazing. And they just came out with a blonde that they brew with elderflower, and it's just amazing. I'm not a guy that usually likes that kind of ingredients in beer, but there's just something about that beer. It's just awesome. It's a blonde. It also has the problem with many craft blondes is that they kind of later they don't give you anything. This one's got some flavor. So Four Hands, remember that name because I think they're going to be a contender.
They have a website. Maybe we can post. You can
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
post it on Honest Craft Beer Reviews.
I will do that. And these guys are great, man. They're a great brewer. They're going to be something. I'm telling you.
Are you when you say elderflower, is that from the elderberry that people drink for colds and flu?
You know what? I think so. I haven't done that research, to be honest with you, but I think so.
Yeah, because
when I tasted that beer, I thought it had a little extra. I thought it was hot, but but there is something else. There's a background flavor. And it's not flowery. Don't let the word flower fool you. It doesn't taste flowery, but there is something. There's an extra background flavor that just makes that beer phenomenal.
oh wow, yeah, elderflower. Because I mean, like I said before, they're constantly experimenting with new blends and new recipes and new, combinations of different ingredients and different amounts. And, and as far as the craft microbreweries go, every state has an ample supply of craft microbreweries. Even here in New Jersey, we got a whole load of them. And I'm sure every state has them. I hear Oregon has a lot of great. I like that. Which one is this, sir?
This is a Sneaky Pete. This is my other Imperial IPA.
Sneaky Pete with the little Boston Terrier looking dog.
Now, Sneaky Pete is an interesting brew. As you can see here, it's a little darker than the other beer I had. It's got a bigger, maltier approach when you get up where you sit. So darker. It's darker than most Imperial IPAs.
Wow.
And it's actually brewed by Laughing Dog.
Okay. Where is that out of?
Laughing Dog. Does it say here? Yeah, Idaho.
Idaho. Where the Idaho potatoes come from.
I'm just going to keep drinking if that's okay with you.
Listen, you are the king. You are the king of IPAs because you seem to really love IPAs and know a lot about them. So the Beer Whisperer will be known as the Imperial Wizard of IPAs.
Well, I don't know if I know more than anybody else. I've listened to John and some other guys. I try to do my stuff a little different. I mean, there are so many knowledgeable guys out there like John and Greg and Brewster. I try to do mine, and if you listen, I know you watch some of my videos, obviously I try to be a little reverent. And I try real hard to avoid beer geek speak as much as possible. And the reason for that, I've had people ask me, Tom, why don't you talk about Lacey? Why don't you talk about this? Why don't you talk about that? And my answer is because that's what those other guys are doing. I try to take another aspect to it. In most cases, my videos are about a particular topic of beer, and I try to keep them under 5 minutes, and I'm bringing you beer while I'm doing it. And you don't need me to do that geek speak. If you want to know the real technical aspects of beer, you can listen to some of those other guys. I'm telling you what's fun about beer. I want to tell you what's tasty about it.
Right, and you have the energy and enthusiasm and passion for the enjoyment aspect of beer and the flavor, and your review is fully understood by mainstream America.
Well, that's my intention.
mainstream.
Although my wife would say my videos are understood by those that are mentally challenged, but that's a whole other.
Well, I mean that, instead of being, like you said, a highbrow, snooty, hoity-toity beer geek that gets very technical and only other beer tasters can understand him. It's kind of like a computer programmer working, for Apple, whatever, talking to other programmers. And now you simplify what you know about beer, including your passion for it, enthusiasm, in the mainstream America or mainstream world who can understand English, they can identify with it, and enjoy it. Like for instance, there was in our area when I was a kid, there was a weatherman by the name of Lloyd Lindsay Young, and you remind me a lot of Lloyd Lindsay Young because he had a personality. He used to crack jokes when he gave the weather report, and he was known for that personality. And you're very similar to that. Of course, you don't exactly whisper when you give the reviews, which I think is a nice.
Sometimes I get a little loud, yes, sir.
Yeah, well, like a play on words. I mean, it's good. It's like calling our wonderful governor here that I cannot stand, but that's another talk show, Mr. Crisco Christie.
I think I want to be on that show with you too. I'd like to have that conversation with you.
Oh, you know about the big blowhard Chris Christie?
Yeah, and I got a feeling your politics and mine are real close.
Well, John Starodumsky and myself will be doing a Progressive Discussions political show on Monday afternoon, and we're going to get pretty hard-hitting. I believe in the truth. My partner says, as long as you focus on the hard-hitting truths of life, it's not about political parties, because a lot of them are corrupt. Two-party system became so corrupt. It's about the truth. And how could people argue with the truth about anything?
Well, that's it. I live in a very conservative area, and I hope I'm not going to turn some of the people off by talking politics, but I live in a very conservative area, and I've had people on here actually ask this question, why are you a liberal? And my answer is always because I believe in doing the right thing. And for me, it's that simple. It's about making sure, people aren't turned away from emergency rooms because they don't have money. You can't claim to be a Christian and then send somebody down the road. And I live in that kind of area where people will wave that Bible at you in one hand and say to go walk away with the other. It's just that simple. Just do the right thing.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of Americans, I know this is very important to talk about. I know it has nothing to do with beer. Forgive me.
I'll get back to Reverend. We kind of did a shift here. I'll go in the direction you want to go.
Forgive me. Well, this is it's unrehearsed, and I like to do unpredictable, unrehearsed shows, like similar to what Jackie Gleason did with the Honeymooners. He didn't believe in rehearsing. Just ad lib and just let it all flow. It all flows into each other, interconnected. What a lot of middle class people, what they're deluded and they're deceived by the right-wing Republican Tea Party propaganda, because they feel that their taxation burden, which is unfairly on the middle class, is the fault of progressive Democrats. But what they don't realize is, if they did their research, was that it was Ronald Reagan in the 1980s that shifted the tax burden from the rich to the middle class.
Yes, it did.
And guess what?
I've had that same conversation, James. I don't know how many times with people out here. They think I'm lying to them. They have the inability. I tell them, you have a computer, look stuff up. Because obviously you're not looking at a history book. But now I've had this conversation time after time, my friend, and we just can't get them to listen.
No, they won't listen. They're stubborn, and they're like lemmings going off a cliff into the sea of despair. You know that. But the point is, in the past 10 years, in the past decade, your top American corporations, the oil companies, whether it be General Electric, they all made trillions in the past decade and did not pay any taxes. GE did not pay any taxes last year. I mean, and the middle class are hammered with taxes. So
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, Republicans, they thump their Bible, but they really do not know the God of the Bible, because if they did,
There you go. That's you're reaching to the water, my friend. I agree.
if they listen, conservative America, especially if you're not in a high income tax bracket, if you're not rich, if you're not an elitist, if you're living week to week, paycheck to paycheck, and struggling, listen, don't vote Republican for the simple reason is, okay, first of all, Republicans like to wave the Bible in your face and thump it, and they like to tell you that they have a bat phone and a stovepipe to God, and
Yeah.
and they feel they can speak for God, even though, you know, if they really knew the God of the Bible, they would acknowledge that the Bible tells the rich to help and give to the poor. Throughout that book, it is loaded with information about the rich giving to the poor. But the Republicans don't believe in helping the poor. They don't like Social Security. They don't like any social services or any social programs. They don't like anything. They want to shrink government.
And that comes down to doing the right thing. I mean, if you're truly a Christian, don't you want to help everybody? I thought that was the point of the Bible. That's the Bible I'm reading. I don't know what they're reading.
I don't know what they're reading either, but it's not the God of the Bible that they're worshiping. Since they care about money as their number one priority, maybe it's the other guy that they're worshiping and not the God of the Bible.
Well, I'll tell you what, since we're this close to Memorial Day, can I say something on that vein?
Sure.
Sort of a side step, but I'm real close to what we're talking about, is that my dad passed away over 10 years ago now. But he was a World War II and Korean War veteran. He also, this was so close to Memorial Day, I wanted to bring this up. He also had a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star for bravery. I watched him. I watched Dr. Paul, the Reagan years, just try to strip benefits away from these guys. And it's always the Republicans saying support the troops. And maybe they are about giving more money to active military, but anytime you talk about retired military, it's those far-right folks that are ripping money from veterans. It's not enough to say I support the military all the way. You have to support them all the way down. The Reagan years were brutal on all veterans, and they just raped that generation.
Well, first of all, Republicans, they love to privatize absolutely everything, because they don't want government. They want government to be shrunken down to a microscopic level. Now
but they want to moralize it.
Right, but the point is, when the troops in Iraq and Afghanistan, privatization did not work. The troops did not get the supplies they needed, and they did not get it quick enough because of privatization. Now, the worst part is, I think it's absolutely, and I'm going to say this for Memorial Day, it's absolutely despicable that any veteran of the United States Armed Forces should have to live in a stinking tent in the woods in Florida, living in a tent, homeless. It is despicable. Shame on you, United States government, for treating the veterans that way. And the World War II veterans came back and were treated like heroes, and they were honored. But look what happened to the poor young souls that, you know, got their legs blown off or whatever, you know, and they have to go on disability and everything. And this is the thanks they get. They get thrown into a tent village in the woods to live in a tent. Should be ashamed of themselves, really, to treat the veterans that way. And that's what I have to say about Memorial Day. But I don't want to. I have to save my ammunition for Mr. John Starodumsky.
Yeah, you hang on there. If you like anything I said, feel free to steal it.
Well, you're right on the money, and I'm sure John will be tickled to death and very happy that you are on board with my people and with John and with my partner, the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisman, and all that. I mean, oh, by the way, I like your background. I don't see no appliances or nothing in the back. I see a blank, a cream-colored wall.
Yeah,
I like.
Well, this is where my daughter arranged me. Like I said, I had to go to her house where I had some internet that worked. So she said, "You sit there, Dad," and that's just what I did.
You know why? You know why this is ideal? And she's a smart girl, because by having a blank background, like you'll see my background, it's all red. By having this blank background, you stand out. Just you stand out.
That's not a good thing.
Like
I'm not a handsome fella, James.
Yeah, but you're the guest, and I want the guest to be.
I've got a bald head and a big nose. It's not good for me.
Well, I got my hair.
It's not being kind of a beer whisperer.
I got my hair buzzed. I got a crew cut, you know, and I got a haircut. Actually, I got them all cut, and because my hair grows like my old German barber Teddy when I was a kid. He goes, "James, your hair grows like weeds. It grows too fast. I can't afford to get a damn haircut every 2 weeks, so I get a buzz.
Yeah.
I get a buzz off." But getting back to
Beer. Let's talk about beer.
All right, now beer. I know I'm going to get heat for the politics, but you know what? You know, it's important to mention it. At least we got to know a little bit more about the Beer Whisperer besides just beer. That you're a man of integrity. You know, a solid, truthful political views. You're right on the money, and people got to know another side of Beer Whisperer. So we're going to get back to beer, and if you want to take over and talk about IPAs or about Pilsners or lagers or anything you want, I've been drinking Yuengling, which is America's oldest brewery.
Yeah. That's I've never had that, to be honest with you. And I've done some traveling, and I try to buy something different every time I go somewhere. But it's one beer that has eluded me.
Well, the only thing I can tell you about Yuengling is it has a very high quality flavor, as any other high quality microbrew. You know, most people know about Sam Adams because I think they were the first to nationally advertise. But Yuengling is a great tasting lager. All their products are great tasting, but the most important thing is it's low priced. I pay more for 6 bottles of Yuengling lager than I would for Michelob or Miller. Literally, like $6. I mean, you can't go wrong. A high quality craft microbrew for like $6 for 6 of them.
I have got one. I did a video earlier today with a beer called Crafted from William K. Bush out of St. Louis, Missouri. This is basically what American beer was at one time. It's not that big, not this soft brew, right? It's not an IPA. It's just a basic lager, but it is an all malt lager. You know, it doesn't have the adjunct side like like Bud Miller and Coors. It's all malt, but it is light. It is easy drinking. It's for the beer geek, most of them are going to turn their nose up on. But it is a very nice, very hot weather. For instance, we got home today for a 4-hour drive, and it was hot and sweaty and all sorts of places you really want to know about. And that was the best beer to have because it just went down easy. It was tasty, and I think we're talking about the same type of beer.
Yes.
And this one, I picked up in cans. They have it in bottles, but I actually picked it up in cans for $11 a 12-pack, which is very reasonable.
Well, that is very reasonable. And another great thing about the micro craft brews is they're not laden with chemicals and preservatives. And if I drink like Coors Light, I do not enjoy it at all. It's like, I mean, even drinking a Corona from Mexico is much better tasting than any light beer from the United States. And I'm talking about nationally advertised, mass-produced beers like your Coors Light, Bud Light. I mean, I just don't like it.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I challenge folks to just, we're all on the computers and do some research on your own. But I've tried to look for ingredients. I'll give Bud some credit because they actually list all their ingredients. They even list the adjuncts, which in the case of Bud is rice. But they list everything. If you try to find ingredients for Miller and Coors, it's elusive. They're hiding this. They don't want you to know because especially in Miller Lite, because that's throwing ingredients in there that has no business being beer. You mentioned Mexican beer. People talk about, Mexican water. Most beers are no bacteria can live in anyone. But you are talking about an adjunct blogger as well. But in many cases, you're just talking about rice and not the other fillers that Miller and Coors are adding in brews.
Interesting. So Budweiser, first of all, they have the nerve to call themselves the king of beers. They're not the king. And Budweiser uses rice. Interesting.
Yeah. But they advertise it proudly like it's a good thing. It's right there, biggest life on your website, rice.
Rice.
But like I said, I'll give them credit because at least they're only one of those big three that will list proudly their ingredients.
Well, they can't fool old James. You know what rice is? It's cheap filler. It's cheap filler. That's what it is. It's like
that's exactly what it is.
It's like when if you watch the Travel Channel and that show off jabroni, what's his name? Adam Richman from Man vs. Food. He'll go to a place in the United States and they'll brag about how great their sandwich is and how big it is. And what they do is they stick cheapo white potato French fries right into the sandwich. So they give you less beef. They give you less meat. They're cheap bastards. That's what they do. It's nothing but cheap filler. And that's what Budweiser does by adding rice. Now, some people...
Yeah. Well, again, if we're talking about a situation where you want to leverage, you mentioned I haven't had that, the crafting from William K. Bush is the equivalent that I can come up with here. I just had that recently. It's not a beer that's going to blow you away, but it is refreshing and it is all malt. And it's only $11 a 12-pack.
Okay.
So there you go.
And they have one called...
Of course, that was a sale price, so yeah, the beer whisperer is all about buying smart. I'm a poor guy. Now, I'm a working class guy, and I like really good beers, so I try to buy the best I can on the budget I have, and I buy it on sale. That's my advice to folks. Shop smart.
Shop smart, correct, and that's why I drink Yingling. Now, I don't like the wheat beers. I'm not crazy about Blue Moon. I tried that. I know some people. Some people on Honest Craft Beer Reviews, this one woman keeps on bragging about Blue Moon. I used to fight with her on other groups that I don't belong to anymore. I nicknamed her the Medusa because of her pet personality, and I posted a photo of Medusa with the snakes coming out of her head over on Regional Food and Drink just to antagonize her. And the thing is that Blue Moon, I think, might be a wheat predominantly. It's Belgian ale.
Yeah, it's actually a Coors product. It's their version of a Belgian white. I'm going to step out of your shop for a second while I grab another beer.
All right, I'll be here. I tell you, your daughter's very smart to put you with this background. Very, very smart. Let's listen to that. Listen to that ice. That's not rice, my friend. That's ice. We're here with the Beer Whisperer.
I'm back.
All you jabronis out there in the Milky Way and Andromeda Galaxy that will be seeing this video. It'll be all over YouTube, all over the internet. And
I hope you can hear that on the video.
The Beer Whisperer. Well, this is internet talk radio is FCC and corporate free, so you can say or do anything you want, but you're at your daughter's, so you're going to probably behave yourself.
I will do my best. I would prefer I had a little gangster right there. I was hoping you didn't hear that.
Oh, I've burped and farted on my on the Progressive Discussion show. Actually, oh, that's a light one.
Yeah, you think, right? Well, I'm going to show you what it is in a
All
second.
right.
There you go. This is it was in the cooler, so my label's kind of messed up there. But this
Yeah, wait a minute. It's a funny cartoon. Yeah, hold on. I like that. Or Earthel Hobbit.
Earthel Hobbit, yeah.
Wow.
It is actually 9.5.
Wow.
This is a big hop Belgian beer. And the story on the Urkel was in 2005, the owner was visiting the States and saw that, Imperial IPAs were becoming very large. And they wanted to do their version of it. Now, that's how the Urkel came about. And I really never noticed how light it appeared. They do say it is common in most Belgian beer to use candy sugar, and this one does as well. So that is an adjunct. Just so you're aware, which would.
Well, yeah, the webcam. Could you turn the webcam more directly facing you? Because you're when you show me something, you are. Yeah, like so you're looking directly straight into the webcam. There you go.
Let's do the candy thing. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. That's the
So 1 second city was John Candy. I'm not over there.
Earthel. No, we're getting a good. I like that. Look at that. Look at the head on that, man. I have to be careful with my off-color.
I've never said that to me before, but I think I like it.
You know what? I can't think of a better way to get head. No, actually, I won't follow up with that, but I have to mind my P's and Q's with my jokes because you're in your daughter's house.
She's 22. It's not like we're talking about a kid. So.
Okay.
Besides
Yeah.
some things that make me blush.
Yeah. Well, you know, I put a.
I don't want this in the store now, but I'm going to tell you, we just a little bit ago, she just let me get out there that she's pregnant. She got married back in September, and this will be our first grandchild.
Oh, really?
Christopher's going to be a granddad.
Wow. This is your first, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what gender the baby's going to be yet, or too early?
Yeah. She's 11 weeks in. 12 weeks. I'm sorry. She's corrected me. 12 weeks.
12 weeks?
12 weeks, yeah. Yeah, I told her I wanted to be called Rancher Pappy.
Pappy. Wasn't that what Popeye called his father?
Yeah. You want to have some teenage word pap off something, but I'm not that guy. I'm a Rancher Pap.
Pappy, yeah. I was joking around with I was joking around with my partner about Popeye and olive oil. And I said, where does Sweet Pea come from? I mean, olive oil doesn't look like she can bear children. You know, I mean,
From no place.
yeah, I mean, I think Sweet Pea was abandoned on a doorstep, or maybe Bluto.
Yeah, I think Popeye was shooting blanks anyway, man.
Yeah, I don't think Bluto banged olive oil because, you know, the size of Bluto and, you know, olive oil was a pipe cleaner.
I think, you know, rip the size out of that.
Yeah, they would have to, no Kama Sutra for Bluto and olive oil, that's for sure.
My wife just told me to reel it in. Apparently I went too far, I had to.
Oh, okay. But, yeah. Now Whippy, he used to say, I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today, right? He was the hamburger fiend.
Yeah,
And I did, on my last, on regional food and drink, I do a video show called The Chiselers Hall of Shame, which is all restaurant reviews, you know, and I name names, and I talked about Bobby Flay's Burger Palace, which I am very upset about because that cheap bastard Bobby Flay only serves 6-ounce hamburgers, and that is tiny for a hamburger. It should be at least 8 ounces. But anyway, so right now you are drinking the Urkel Hobbit, which you showed us before. Earthel. Yeah, not to be confused with that kid with the suspenders that used to have a TV show.
Earthel. Yeah, that'd be a whole other beer altogether.
Earthel Hoppin'. Oh man, it's
again, it's in the same vein as an IPA or an Imperial IPA. It has a slightly different balance. It's not quite. Well, the first time I had this, right after it came out, it was one of the first Imperial IPAs I had. And I felt it was incredibly hoppy at the time, but against these others that I had tonight, it's really not even in that same neighborhood. But it is a good beer.
It's a good drinking beer, like this commercial I used to see as a kid. You know, if you ever want to open up a barbecue place featuring rotisserie, featuring chicken, I got a good name for it. Pecker's Fried Chicken. Pecker's. Have a picture of a rooster, you know, on it. Pecker's Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
Right. Or my other idea for a seafood restaurant would be Moby's Dick. No, that's. But anyway.
You know what? Having this conversation, my wife just walked back in the room. I think she's dreading the moment that you and I might meet.
Could you imagine?
I go way over the top all the time, and she's over here rooming back here.
I drove the waitress at the IHOP bonkers. She asked me how I wanted my eggs, and I said, sunny side down, but don't turn them over. and the reason why I told her that is because I saw it on the Three Stooges. Larry asked Moe how he wanted his eggs, and that's what he said: sunny side down, but don't flip them. So it's impossible. You can't do it. So the next time you go out for breakfast and they ask you how you want your eggs, tell them sunny side down, but don't turn them over. She was all
afraid to do that because one of my big fears is getting a runny egg.
A runny egg, yeah. No, I like them. Well, I don't want them overdone like an egg McMuffin at McDonald's. I like them.
I always like mine over medium. I like the white completely done and the yolk runny.
Right, and that ain't no yolk either. And you'll be in ecstasy.
You heard what you said right there.
You'll be in ecstasy. Exactly. Ecstasy. Or is this joke a little too excruciating for your wife to handle? Excruciating. Anyway, I'm telling you, nobody has enthusiasm for beer like the Beer Whisperer. I mean, is there anything you would like to say about beer in any way, shape, or form? Go right ahead and say it, because it's really, I have never seen a group grow so fast like Honest Craft Beer Reviews, and Regional Food and Drink is growing really fast also. The only problem with Regional Food and Drink is nobody wants to do any really low blows, really heavy-hitting critiques over there. I'm the only one that seems to be naming names and slamming people that serve lousy food, but everybody else is making nice, like Barney the Dinosaur. You know, I love you, you love me. You know, the human.
Yeah. Truth, I've had the same problem with beer. I mean, I'm a perpetual glass half full kind of guy. You know, I almost never go negative. In fact, I don't even do I don't do number reviews, or I don't do a thumbs up. I don't do diamonds. For me, buying a beer is as simple as I like it or I don't. And the question for me isn't if it's 85 or 90. The question for me is, will I buy it again? So I almost never want to go negative. I want to look at the beer and not rate it on what the label says. I want to rate it on its merits. Forget about the label. Forget about what it's supposed to be. Just take a drink.
And you describe what you're experiencing when you sip it.
And do you like it? Yeah, I mean, it should be that simple. But there have been a couple where I've had to go, oh, okay, enough's enough. I mean, I'll do, if you see my review, written and video, I'm about 99% positive. But every once in a while, I get something where I've got to go and, shame on you for putting this out. it's terrible, you know, and I guess I think that's where you're coming from about the food thing.
Yeah, I understand, and it's very
bad.
you know, mainstream America is not going to do what the beer snobs, the beer geeks do. You know, they're going to tell you if they like it or not, and basically.
Well, my problem with the beer snobbery is this: is that for me, I'm a working class guy.
Right.
And I think beer is a working class beverage. I think you've got these hipsters out there right now that are in the beer, they're going to be in the beer for about 5 minutes.
Right.
You know, they're right there thinking, because it's hip right now for, and next year or 5 years from now, they're going to say, oh, I was in that, but that was 5 minutes ago, it's not cool anymore. Well, the truth is, things, you know, it's not that simple. If you're the kind of person that has to keep hopping from what's cool to what's cool, well, you have no integrity. You have no soul.
That's correct.
And beer is all about soul.
That's right.
And beer that don't drink it because it's cool or because, you know, it's fun to do it right now. You do it because, you know, it makes you feel warm inside. And I'm not talking about the buzz, I'm talking about the pleasure. I'm talking about tasting the malts and the hops. And those guys, I don't think, can do that. And it doesn't matter how many fancy words you use. Oh, I taste date and fig, and not just regular fig. I taste this.
Fig, I'll give them figs. I'll give them figs. Figs, my ass.
That's why I refuse to do it. And I don't begrudge the folks that do that, because there are some great reviewers out there. And I'm not going to begrudge any of them, but I'm not going to go that direction. I'm taking this thing the working class direction, because I'm all a poor fella, you know, but I like good drink, and this is what I'm going to do. And it's a way a poor guy can drink well.
Well, I'm in the same class. I mean, what do they call them down in Louisiana? Po folk?
Yeah, po folk.
Po boy sandwich.
Yeah.
Po boy. But it's like with food. What they've done was they've taken old recipes that the poor people used to eat, the peasants used to eat, and they've turned them into gourmet delicacies and jacked up the prices to no end. I mean, give me a break. Organ meat, entrails of livestock, you know, done with a fancy sauce by a chef, and you know, and they're giving you a little bit of food on a big dish, and you walk out starving, and you're paying a high price for a bunch of organs, you know, in the middle of the dish. You know,
that's crazy, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I like a big portion. I like good quality food at a reasonable price, and I like lots of it. That's why I go to buffets. I go to good quality buffets in my area. They're owned by usually Chinese, and we have international buffets galore. And the one in my town, I took my mother there yesterday. I went for lunch for $8. I had all kinds of seafood and meat and dessert. I had shrimp. I had red snapper fillet. I had fried squid. I had all kinds of fish, and I ate pretty damn good for $8. And the ice cream machine and the fruit, everything was great. And to go to a sit-down place and just get one portion, you know, and walk out hungry. So I can brag to everybody, oh, I've been to this restaurant, is rated 5 stars by you know, Zagat, or the chef on the Food Channel rated it very high. Big deal. That means nothing to me. And the same thing is about how you feel about beer. You want a good quality beer at an affordable price, and you either like it or you don't. And that's primarily it.
That's right, you know, and when I do buy the more expensive brews, you know, I'm not afraid to say, you know, I'm not ashamed to say that, you know, when I buy things that are expensive, I buy them when they are marked down. Sooner or later, everything, no matter how popular it is, will get marked down, even if it's just a couple dollars. And that's when I pick it up, you know. Hey man, you know, some people want to tell you I buy it for a reason. I buy it when it first comes out, like the guys that have to have those new gadgets every time Microsoft or Apple pops something out, they have to go buy it. the same thing with the beer diesel. As soon as that comes out, I'm going to buy it. Not me, I'm going to wait till it comes on sale and I'm going to try it.
I wait.
And buy quality brew. You can buy quality brew at the same price they're charging you for craft if you just pay attention.
I wait until the reviews come out. When something new comes out, I wait till the reviews come out, and if there's bugs in it, and they take the bugs out, and then I'll go for it. I don't just go out on impulse and get something brand new, just because everybody's excited over it, But anyway, there's a sound going on there. It's a grinding sound. Is it an appliance or is it a UFO landing on your roof or something? Or?
No, it's actually there's nothing here. I think I thought it was annoying actually.
Maybe it's just the internet traffic. Maybe it's just cyberspace noise. There you go.
Get out of my head. See if that helps.
I made a pizza one time by using beer instead of water in my bread machine, and I made the pizza dough in the bread machine, and I made it. It was in the winter, of course. Oh, it was delicious. It was. I put sourdough starter, and I used beer, microbrew beer instead of water, and I made the beer dough, and I made the pizza, and it was great. It was great. But anyway, like I said before, there's nobody with enthusiasm like the Beer Whisperer, and I will let you finish that beer. And if you feel well enough to try another kind of beer, I don't want you to pass out on me, but.
Hey, James, I appreciate your concern. No, you know what? I'll end when you're ready to end, my friend.
Okay, because if you passed out, it would be very
tempting.
It would be very tempting to put it on YouTube.
I would. Did you hear my daughter?
What did she say?
She said I would.
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny?
You should put it on YouTube.
All your daughter's friends would be watching it, and she's going to be telling everybody. Watch.
Listen, you need to go home, or can I have another beer? Mom, can I have another beer? Well, I have permission to hang with you, James. If you want to keep the show going, I'll do another 20
All right. Now, how many? You got there real quick. Did you beam over like on Star Trek? I mean, how close? Your daughter was fairly close to your house?
Yeah, she was right close to us. Mom was driving, yeah.
Oh.
And Dad had already been drinking because I was anticipating getting on with you earlier. And I wasn't kidding earlier. I mean, I'm serious about this. I never drink and drive. I have my 13-year-old son and Clesta, our 22-year-old daughter. They have never seen me drink and drive in their lives. Am I all right?
Yep. You know what? You're on record for saying that, even though the Beer Whisperer really gets into his micro brews, he does not drink and drive. Do you hear that, you jabronis out there?
I didn't know that term until tonight, but I've got it now, my friend.
You Lindsay Lohans that insist on drinking and driving. The Beer Whisperer enjoys fermented beverages just as much as, or even more so maybe, than other people, but he does not drink and drive. What?
It sure feels like I enjoy it more, doesn't it?
Yes, he does not drink and drive. So
I tell you what, James, hey, how about if you have about a 2-minute subject while I go pee, and I'll be right back with a new beer.
Okay, are you going to leave the door open so I can hear the waterfall for
special? You can edit that if you like, but
no, let her rip,
I'm doing my thing, my friend.
This is uncensored FCC, maybe your daughter wants to scream at somebody on Internet Talk Radio. Or maybe your wife wants to yell at somebody or wave. I don't know. Anybody can come on. This is going to be all over. Well, if the ladies come, I got to take off my stupid court jester's hat. Oh, something happened. Hold on.
Hi, I'm his daughter.
Hi. You don't see me, do you?
No.
You don't see me at all.
There's a picture.
Oh, a picture. Oh, yeah. I took the hat off because I don't want girls to see me with a court jester's hat on. But hi, nice to meet you. And I'm James from New Jersey. Wait, what happened? The toilet bowl? What about the toilet bowl?
We put snapdragons on the toilet bowl.
You did? Oh, and he jumped?
I didn't jump. I said, holy crap, in the bag.
Well, I've been taking this Earthrise Spirulina Gold, and
You know my family loves me, James.
I know they play the practical jokes on you.
There's a lot of love in this room.
Yeah. Well, your
Asking me to show with you.
your daughter is very cute, even though she's spoken for.
Okay, can I ask you one more question?
Ask me one more question, and I'll tell you about my detoxification this morning and how to use the plunger 5 times to get it done.
How deep do you want to go? I got one more hobbit, or I've got this tail from the dark side. Where do you want to go?
No, Tales from the Dark Side.
What do you want to see the Black Pearl?
Yeah. Is that the Tale from the Dark Side? Wait.
It's actually that's R.J. Rocker's Black Pearl, Ales from the Dark Side.
Oh, did you drink that already?
No. I'm asking if you want me to pop it.
Okay, if it's a new one, pop it. But try to. Is it possible to move your chair so the camera is directly in the middle of your forehead? Is it possible? If not, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, your Snapdragons on the toilet seat.
You love that, don't you? Okay. Is that what you want? The camera?
No, the camera has got to go over the other way. I'm losing your. That's better.
Right here?
Yeah, so you're looking directly into the camera. You got it.
Okay, you want this?
Yes.
How much longer do you talk to me?
As long as it takes before you pass out on YouTube, on the internet. No, I'm only kidding. I'm not trying to get you drunk. I'm not trying to get you drunk. No, I mean, pretty soon I'm getting a little hungry. I have Japanese soba noodles that I'm going to have with nori seaweed with teriyaki sauce.
My daughter wants some.
She likes Japanese food?
Oh, yeah, I love Japanese food.
I got...
Only 5 beers, so if you're going to leave me in 10 minutes, I don't want to open it.
No, I'm not going to leave you in 10 minutes. Finish it. I'll wait till you finish it. I'm a pretty good cook, and I have barbecue shows also on the internet. Yeah, it's called Barbecuing with Mega Life 21.
James, I need to visit you, my friend.
Yeah, I got like hundreds and hundreds of shows on the internet. Talk shows, politics, cooking, crazy, wacky stuff.
Well, I'm a home cook. I mean, I'm certainly not a chef by any means, but I do love to cook, and I could talk about food with you for a good long time.
Great. I used to do color commentary for professional wrestling. I was like a bad guy. Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful color, is it not?
That is a gorgeous color.
Okay, let me get the bottle up for you. This is the R.J. Rockers. They call them the Ales from the Dark Side. It's a Black Pearl. It's a black IPA, but they use pearl hops.
Wow. I'm very impressed. I like that. It's like a porter. It's very dark.
It is. It's a dark IPA style. It's just basically a dark beer, heavily hopped. And there are some people that don't like the style. They don't think it's a legitimate style, which I think is absolutely ridiculous.
Heavily hopped. Those namby-pambies. Anybody who can't take heavily hopped or strong porters, you know what? They're a little too light in their loafers, as far as I'm concerned.
Look at that.
Look at that. It's beautiful. It's a work of art.
And it's tasty. This is 9.5. Now, for my money, in my opinion, there are 2 beers. There's a lot of this style out there, but there are only 2 that really are worth the hype. One is this one, R.J. Rocker's Black Pearl. The other one is the Stone Sublimely Self-Righteous. So if you can come across either of those two, buy them. Anything else is probably overhyped. But those two are worth every penny you pay for them.
Great, fantastic. We're getting a lot of education here from the Beer Whisperer. We're getting great reviews. We're talking about all kinds of things. Now, getting back to food, I make sourdough pancake batter from scratch, multi-grain. And for those of you that like sourdough, it's a form of fermentation, you know, being that we're on the subject of fermentation. It's very easy to make. And all you do is you take equal amounts of whole wheat flour or all-purpose flour. Like, let's say you want to take 2 cups. Then you take 2 cups of warm water. You mix it up. You put some honey in it or natural brown sugar. You got to have some sugar in there. And then you put a tiny bit of baker's yeast, but it's not mandatory. You let that sit outside with a cloth. Don't seal it, and don't use anything metallic. Seal it. Throw a cloth on top of it, and let it sit room temperature for 1 week until you see black fluid. Yeah, you just froze a little bit. You see black fluid develop on top of the jar, and then after about a week, you stir it up. You put it in the fridge, and that's your sourdough starter.
Wow, that's good.
And then you feed it by putting when it gets down to a little bit left, you add some more flour and equal amounts of warm water and some more sugar, and you let it ferment again in room temperature. And you could use that for baking, you know, whatever you want. But anyway, that porter looks pretty good. See, my area is very multi-ethnic. Any kind of food you want, it's in short driving distance. You want Thai, you want Indian, you want we have everything except good barbecue. We don't have like what you have, good barbecue. But we got everything else.
Yeah, I'm a smoking fool, James, man. I mean, I've got 3 smokers out in my backyard. I mean, they're not commercial grade smokers, you know, but I do have 3 for different things. And I smoke everything. I mean, I've been known to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and toss some brisket out there and smoke for 12 hours.
Have you smoked turkey yet? Turkeys?
Yeah, I smoke everything.
Wow. Well, not roadkill.
Oh, no, I don't do roadkill.
No.
But a possum will give you a good buzz if you smoke it just right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That was a joke. Sometimes people take me serious.
If you try to smoke a bee, if you try to smoke a beehive, you'll get a good buzz over that too.
There you go.
You know, I went to.
That's why that's funny.
I went to a county fair one time, and there was a beekeeper, and he told me that he had a problem because the bees they're dying off, and he didn't get that much honey. And I told him, well, I guess it wasn't meant to be for you. And
that's funny.
He got mad at me. I said it wasn't meant to be.
Oh, bro, sense of humor.
I know. I told him you live out in the country. You're supposed to laugh at all kinds of corny jokes. I'm a city slicker, so I would love to keep bees. I mean, it's becoming popular now, raising your own honey, wildflower honey and all that. But anyway, getting back to the smoker. Do you have a Brinkman? A Brinkman smoker. They're made in Texas. B-O.
No, I don't. No, and what I have, none of them are expensive, but they work very well. So, like I said, I just love the smoke. It's all about the wood for me, man.
Like Kenny Rogers said, it's the wood that makes it good.
Wood that makes it. I wonder what he was talking about. Kenny Rogers had a lot of, Anyway.
He had a lot of mistresses. A lot of.
So he might have been talking about different wood.
It's the wood that makes it good. Yeah. Well, being that I got a shillelagh in my hands, I'll make faces with it. Kenny Rogers Roasters. Well, the chickens tasted awesome, but they were very small. You know how something goes corporate. All of a sudden, they were like little pigeons, for God's sakes. But they were good. They were.
businesses, they had a few out here, but they all closed down. So I don't know if it's still in business.
Yeah, the local barbecue places probably put them out of business because they don't give you anything. It's like, I mean, there's nothing like old-fashioned wood charcoal, low and slow.
Friend, yeah, no, you can't beat it.
Hickory. I got my smoker at Home Depot. It's made by Brinkman. It's not their best. It's not the biggest, but it's nice, and that's what I've been doing the video shows with. I use the Weber automatic charcoal starter, which doesn't require lighter fluid, only newspaper.
I use the chimney too. I don't use lighter fluid. No, that's bad.
No, it's easy. You just put some newspaper underneath and light it, and the thing is cherry hot red in about 15, 20 minutes.
It's a very easy thing to do for the environment.
Mm-hmm. Now, for you people out there that that haven't watched my show yet, you don't even have to buy charcoal. For those,
No, you do not.
you do not, and the reason why I'm saying that, you jabronis, is that for those of you that have wood-burning stoves and fireplaces that have wood in a shed, you can use the firewood for smoking and barbecuing with that Weber charcoal starter. You do not have to buy charcoal at all. Try it. Try it. It works.
When I do buy charcoal, I actually use lump.
Well, I use the jagged, old-fashioned wood charcoal. I don't get the briquettes ever.
Yeah, I never use briquettes. I use the lump. The lump charcoal. Yeah.
That's the one I use. But I did it with
On the
firewood.
same page, James.
All right, listen, you people out there. For those of you, I smell lighter fluid in my neighborhood all the time, and I try to educate you people. And now you got the beer whisperer talking sense into you from barbecue country, USA, Missouri, and for those vegetarians.
Okay, if you don't care about the environment, listen to this. It's cheaper. It's cheaper. Buy a chimney, use natural lump. You will save money. How about that?
You will save money, and in many ways. And speaking of the environment, did you know? All right, everybody's talking about the green movement. You got the windmills, you got the hydroelectric power with with waterfalls. You've got the solar panels. But did you know that aside from putting acres of solar panels out in this American Southwest desert, which would produce enough electricity for maybe, who knows, God knows how many cities. Did you know the Germans invented a tower that collects the heat from the desert floor and converts it into electricity? It's a tower. So all this whining about, how we need petroleum-based products from the oil companies, it's bullshit. It's all about profiteering.
I agree.
Just like the wars, war profiteering, oil companies. It's all the fat cats and the one percenters. So I just want to salute the Occupy movement all over the United States and the world. I'm saluting them right now, and I hope and I'm glad that the veterans and the unions and even the nurses, medical, healthcare people, they all joined the movement. And torches and pitchforks is what we need out there in America. Torches and pitchforks. That's it. For the little guy to defeat the fat cats. The big kahunas. Now, Beer Whisperer, did you finish that Tales from the Dark Side?
No, I'm still working on it.
No, I will wait until you drink the last drop of Tales from the Dark Side.
What would you like me to talk about?
Let's see. You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about chickens.
Chickens.
We talked about chickens before. Chickens, people don't realize that the chicken is nature's insect exterminator, and they'll clean up your yard. They'll eat every crap they can get their little beaks on.
You know what the best thing about a chicken is?
What's that?
It tastes like chicken.
You're right.
You don't have to eat a gopher. You don't have to eat a rat. You don't have to eat a rabbit. Because every strange meat somebody comes across and says, it tastes like
What
chicken.
about armadillos?
Well, I don't have to eat something that tastes like chicken because you know what? A chicken tastes just like chicken.
Right. Not you don't need an armadillo or an iguana or a rattlesnake or
Oh, if you rattlesnake or alligators, I don't have to pay $10.99 a pound for rattlesnake because it tastes like chicken, so I can eat that chicken.
I go to Walmart and I get 10 pounds of chicken for $6. So why do I need to pay high prices on wild game that tastes like chicken when I can get the chicken? And barbecue, marinated barbecue chicken.
It tastes. The best thing about chicken is it tastes like chicken, my friend.
That's it.
Oh, excuse me.
That's quite all right.
Well, you know what, James, I know what you want me to talk about tonight because we rambled on about so many different things.
I just want to say one thing about chicken before we sign off. We should, in the United States and maybe the world, we should have a national chicken day with a parade honoring and celebrating the chicken because the chicken has done so much for us for hundreds of thousands of years. And what do we do to the chicken? We don't respect it. You know, we should have a day to commemorate and acknowledge the chicken with parades and everything. You know, and a beauty pageant because in America, every time there's a festival going on, they always have a beauty pageant. You know, the Onion Festival, the Garlic Festival, you know, the Squid Festival in Monterey, California. There's always they even have a hominy grits festival in Georgia, and they got a beauty pageant. Why not? Hey, a beer. There you go, a beer festival with parades. A chicken festival. You know, what do you think about having all these extra holidays?
Hey, man, whatever works.
Whatever gives America a paid day off to relax.
If you want to have a chicken festival, have a chicken festival. You know, here's what I think. No, honestly, that was a little snide, but the truth is, a lot of small towns in America have one thing that makes them special. Sometimes it's an onion, sometimes it's a chicken, sometimes it's an artichoke. Whatever makes them special, I think they have a right to celebrate it. And you know what? On the rare occasion that I have a vacation, I'm a perfect tourist. I mean, I will see the 20-pound box wine. I mean, you know, the 50-pound onion. I love that kind of stuff. I mean, I am the perfect tourist. I think that's great. I think whatever makes any town special, they should advertise it.
Well, my town, we don't have any special livestock or produce to make us famous. But we are famous for one thing, and I'm not sure. Did you guys ever get the HBO special series called The Sopranos out there in Missouri?
Yeah, we did, yeah. Is that what you're known for, James?
No, I'll tell you exactly what we're known for. My town is
Are you happy about that?
It's Lodi, New Jersey. There's a Lodi, California, and there's a Lodi, Italy. L-O-D-I. And we're
So
famous.
are you happy about it?
I don't have any feelings either way about it, but I'll tell you what we have in Lodi. The strip joint, Bada Bing's, that Tony Soprano used to hang out in, is in Lodi. It's in my town. They do the filming there. They did the filming on Sunday morning when before the place opened up, and the strip joint, the nudie bar, Bada Bing's, is actually called Satin Dolls. It's
That's a real place.
It's a real place. They sell. You go there. They sell the Bada Bing T-shirts. You know, with the chick. You know, the black and white shirt. And it's called Satin Dolls on Route 17 South. And that is the original Bada Bing where they do the filming. So that's about all we're known for. You know.
So how do you feel about that?
Well.
Seriously, I mean, you think it's good for tourism? Do you brings people in, or do you think it's negative?
Well, it doesn't hurt tourism because people are always going there and taking their pictures in front of it and buying the T-shirts. it's good for them. It's good for tourism in that respect. But yeah, I don't really have any feeling either way towards it. But I am happy about America's newest national park, which is the Great Falls, the waterfalls in Paterson, New Jersey, which is a national park now. And I did some videoing with my theatrical group that I promote, the Renaissance Man Can Create, performed in the museum, and that's on the internet. If you type in Can Create Patterson, you'll see it. He does different stuff, you know, and it's exciting to have a national park nearby. We have a lot of famous hot dog joints, a lot of very old hot dog landmarks in northern New Jersey. Places that have been there forever that are famous for hot dogs. But we have great pizza. And that's about it. But
You Italian folks like pizza, right?
yeah, we like pizza. I like all kinds of food. I like. Look, when I eat spaghetti,
I'm making a joke.
I get, yeah, us Italians like pizza. I get.
I was going to far white guy. Yeah, I was taking it a different direction.
I eat more multi-ethnic foods. I eat other. I eat more other people's foods than I eat my own because I grew up with my own kind of foods.
Yeah, you know what? Me too. I agree with that. Yeah.
Do you have a Whole Foods market in Missouri?
Yes, but not in Springfield, which really bums me out. I have to go to Kansas City or St. Louis. So when we're up here for my son's treatments in St. Louis, we do try to hit the Whole Foods while we're here. Yeah.
You tried? They have a organic 365 brand whole wheat spaghetti. That's really
I love that 365 brand. Yeah. We try to do the organic stuff whenever possible.
Yes, and I go there.
We have a Trader Joe's. Do you guys have Trader Joe's out that way?
Yeah, very good store.
Yeah, we love the Trader Joe's. My wife is some of the whey protein shakes.
Trader Joe's is excellent. There's a grain that I started eating from the Peruvian
Quinoa?
Quinoa is. You know what? I'm waiting for a microbrew to start using.
And quinoa is beautiful. Yeah, I don't know why anybody hasn't tried doing quinoa. And the only thing I can think of is that bruising sugar. I don't know if there's much sugar in quinoa.
Yeah, I know millet is high in carbohydrates. Millet.
Yes, I don't think quinoa, because quinoa is very high in protein. Quinoa is almost a pure protein.
Quinoa has high quality protein equal to animal source, and quinoa has many times.
Quinoa is a pure protein, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said almost. It is a pure protein.
Well, quinoa is much higher in calcium than dairy products. It's high in minerals and magnesium and vitamin E. It is a powerhouse. And I'm going to.
Sugars make alcohol, so I don't know. Maybe there's no sugar in the baby.
You know what else they make down there? It's called chicha morada, made from purple, very dark purple corn. It is a fermented corn beverage. They boil the corn and they just let it sit room temperature, and I guess the yeasts do their thing. And corn is very high on the glycemic index chart, so it ferments, and corn. But nobody ever mass-produced this chicha morada. I guess the United States, it takes time to introduce something from a foreign country. It takes a while.
It does, but like anything else, it's all about money, my friend.
Yeah, marketing it and everything. But I'm going to start eating quinoa instead of oatmeal, which I get this organic steel cut anyway.
Quinoa is good. Have you ate quinoa, James?
I had it one time many years ago, and I liked the flavor. It was better than amaranth, to be honest with you. I liked it. I like brown rice. I get jasmine brown rice from Thailand.
Oh, yeah, I love jasmine brown, yeah.
Basmati rice from India, from the Himalayas, is good.
Very nice.
Yeah, aged basmati rice. See, that kind of rice would make an awesome addition to a micro-brewed beer. Is like an aged brown basmati rice instead of that white garbage that that Budweiser probably uses. Another beer that uses rice, I think, is the Japanese beer Kirin, and the Qingdao, the Chinese beers. Called Qingdao.
Well, I recently found a Sapporo that claimed to be all malt. All malt. And I tried this thing, and it was horrible. I mean, it was, I don't know what kind of malt they claimed to be all malt about, but it was the worst. I mean, it was just incredibly horrible. So, if you see this, it's called Sapporo Special Reserve. It's just terrible. Never buy it. It's worthless. Whatever all malt they claim to be is terrible. It's a nasty beer. Don't drink it.
Don't drink it. Good. Very good. And wow, your beer filled, your glass filled up.
It's good.
Wait a minute.
And my bottle is empty.
Oh, that's why it filled up. Because I didn't see you fill it. Okay.
The magic of television.
The magic of television. Well,
You know what? The beer whisperer obviously getting a little buzz now. Oh, excuse me.
you're getting a buzz. So yeah, I will keep quiet and I will let you finish off.
Are you drinking as we do this, or am I the only one, acting like a moron at this point?
I'm drinking some green tea with.
Oh, okay. So I'm set up.
No, you're not set up. I have sugarcane vinegar in here from the Philippines. You know why? Because the high pollen count. I have an irritated sore throat, and I need this vinegar.
Yeah.
That's the reason. I wasn't trying to set you up.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just. Anyways.
Well, you need these beers, these high quality beers, so you have that whispering quality about your shows. You
like that, do you?
That's the rocket fuel.
It is. Like I said, man, I don't know how much you want me to babble on here, but like I said, my thing is that I wanted to keep my videos at about 5 minutes. I know a lot of them go, 10, 15 minutes long.
We're over an hour and a half now.
Yeah, well, you and I, yeah. Well, hey, you're a professional, my friend.
Well, this is banter that is completely ad-libbed and unrehearsed.
When I do my beer videos, I try to keep it at about 5 minutes. I try to, and sometimes I ran longer, for sure, sometimes a bit short, but my goal is to go 5 minutes.
Well, you look like a powerful, strong guy. You got Popeye forearms. You got big forearms. You're very athletic, right?
No, I'm candy ass.
Oh, well, your forearms are like Popeye's. They're like you look like you can crush somebody in arm wrestling.
Yeah.
Is that your daughter laughing in the background?
Yeah.
She's cracking up.
Oh, my family loves me. I'm telling you.
Snapdragons.
Yeah, I'm just all over this room. I don't know.
Speaking of, I'm sorry.
Okay, the beer whisperer is a bit overweight, and he's working on getting it under control. But the beer whisperer is cutting down, and we're going to talk about this something. I myself.
Yeah, but at least you're getting a lot of B vitamins in your body. Now toilets. Now,
I'm cutting down on empty calories, but I'm not cutting down on good quality beer. I know there's a lot of bad calories from beer, but I mean, this stuff is so wonderful. I'm not going to let that go.
I can tell you for a fact that microbrew craft beers are powerhouses of nutrition. They really are. And but anyway, getting back to toilets and Snapdragons, what exactly does a bidet do? I'm confused. A bidet. What is it? What is the invention called a bidet? What is it for? Is it a drinking fountain? Is it a drinking fountain in case you get thirsty on the toilet?
Did I not tell you I'm a working class guy?
Bidet or a benite? I don't know what the hell they call it. Bidet. Anyway. All right. It's some kind of a sprinkling system. I don't know. I never came across it, but well, sir, it's been quite a fun-filled, action-packed, and lengthy, invigorating.
I hope you edit this down to get it. I'm sure we have some nonsense in here, but
yeah, but you know what? the nonsense shows people that we don't need to rehearse anything, that we say what we want, how we want it, when we want it, where we want it, any ways we want it, and they can put that in their pipes and smoke it. And it was outstanding broadcasting, to say the least.
Well, James, can I tell you my last thought about craft beer?
Yes.
Is I know we were at this thing up.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm
Sure,
getting.
you know, I love what you're trying to do, and I actually, before I did this thing with you tonight, I watched a few segments with you and John. And John is much more knowledgeable about beer than I am as a whole. My thing is like you said earlier, is that I am enthusiastic. I love the taste of beer. I always have. And it's not always about.
I see it.
It's not always about drinking the best beer, but it's always about drinking good beer. You can buy, if you're paying attention, you can buy good beer for the same price, and sometimes less than bad beer. You know, pay attention. Don't buy that crapola. You can buy some good beer here, and this is a really good one here.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, the tail was hammered. Anyway, I digress.
It's a good thing you're not driving.
No, it's a good thing, right? No, seriously. But seriously, folks.
I wonder if some of my favorite cartoons are on tonight. Family Guy, American Dad, South Park.
Are you missing those?
Oh, I watch all that insane stuff. Futurama. I don't know if anybody there likes car. I even watch SpongeBob sometimes. You know, Mr. Krabby is interesting. He's like such a cheap bastard, Mr. Krabby. But anyway, I thank you for a wonderful show.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate you having me out here. And my thing is bringing the working class brews to the working class guy. I think we've got enough of pretentious beer geeks out there doing their thing, and that's okay because I don't hold it against them because they're bringing craft beer in from the whole other direction. So, but my thing is I love good beer. I want you all to come drink it too.
Okay, you've heard it from the one and only, the Beer Whisperer. And when I get through with this show, all the important people in the food and drink industry are going to know about the Beer Whisperer. We will make a celebrity out of the Beer Whisperer. It's the last thing I do. It's going to happen.
Or you will become a babbling idiot. One or the other.
No. You'll be a celebrity. But I have a way of finagling and putting special code in the video so you're out there in the Andromeda galaxy and everywhere in the cosmos. You'll be out there, believe me. So anyway, have a good night. Say good night to your daughter and your wife for me. Good night, family.
James. Hey, man, I apologize if I took too long tonight. We were I just got rambling.
No, it's okay. I got there's no woman here. It's just me. I have nothing better to do than to make a show. I'm not going to get in any action tonight, so why not make a show?
I like you, my friend.
All right, like you too. I will see you in cyberspace. And seriously speaking, I'm a personal trainer. I was a personal trainer and nutritional consultant. I will send you any serious information about leukemia.
That would be great, actually. That would be really great.
Okay, I will do some research and get some information to you. So,
all right, James. Okay. Hey, thanks, man. You're a heck of a guy.
All right, thank you, and you have a great weekend. Is it Memorial Day weekend? This weekend or next weekend?
This weekend.
Oh, as in now.
It's right now, yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't even know that.
Hey, tomato, Andy. Let's have a beer.
Let's have a beer. Memorial Day weekend.
James.
Bye-bye.